Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Maria Garcia, and I am a journalist with Fox 25 News out of Oklahoma City with a focus on consumer news. So I'm always ready to have a conversation about personal finance. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us and supporting this back to school virtual event, for investing your time in learning more about the mission of the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education to improve financial literacy and economic education in Oklahoma. Now, of course, we had hoped that this event would be happening in person, that we would be sharing food and our stories face to face. But I want to remind everyone why we're meeting here virtually today. All of these events that have been canceled or postponed have a huge effect on the nonprofits that we all care about, like the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education. People and organizations are losing money during this time because of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is a crisis for all of us in so many ways. And we hope that if you're able, you choose to give today to this important event that supports Oklahoma teachers, students, and financial and economic education in our state. There may not be a more important time to support the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education. The council has continued to do important work in our communities throughout the COVID-19 pandemic to meet the changing needs of teachers and of parents. It is easy to give, so please review the auction items linked below, and then there's a link to make a general donation, and all your dollars will go directly to supporting the mission of improving financial literacy and economic education in our state. Now, if you wish to make a gift after today's event, you're always able to do that through the website. Now, we would normally be having this conversation over lunch, but today, the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education staff and board members are joining you live in the virtual chat below to answer any questions that you may have. In a time like this, when our work and our home life has shifted so drastically, I am coming to you from my son's nursery after all. We find comfort in knowing we are surrounded by a supportive community sharing in these new challenges. Please enjoy today's virtual event as we hear about the incredible work the council is doing and from those people who've been impacted.
Thank you, Maria, and welcome everyone to the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education virtual fundraising event. We're excited to have you all join us for this unique event at this particularly unique time in our history. There are many to thank for bringing this all together. We've never done a virtual event like this before, and without the hard work and creativity of several, we would not be here today. First, I'd like to thank Melissa Neal, our amazing chair of the 2020 Back to School with Financial Literacy event. She and her team turned a large in-person event to a virtual one with short notice, and I appreciate her determination in making this event happen. I'd also like to thank Maria Garcia, for our event MC, for supporting us and bringing her talents to help with our event. Maria is such an ally to our organization, and we appreciate her enthusiasm and willingness to help. I'd also like to thank our sponsors for this event. Without their support, this event would not be possible. Our sponsors supported us even when the event changed drastically because they believe in our mission work. Our mission to promote economic education and financial literacy in Oklahoma is needed now more than ever. The Back to School with Financial Literacy fundraising event is so important to the health of our organization, and what we are trying to accomplish is in the forefront of many conversations being had today. COVID-19 is a top headline in the news. Businesses have shut down, jobs have been cut, and budgets tightened. Communities and businesses throughout Oklahoma have been affected, and families have felt that pressure. Schools and teaching methods have changed, and from what we can tell, will continue to change. Throughout the last months, we've worked closely with many Oklahoma teachers, and by supporting this event, you are helping the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education provide K-12 teachers the materials and training they need to integrate real-life economics into the classroom. OCE's overarching mission is to help Oklahoma students gain a real-world understanding of economics and personal finance so they can make better decisions and compete and succeed in the global economy. We do this by providing professional development to teachers, resources to teachers and students, and student programming such as competitions. We have a unique situation in our state. We are one of 6 states that does not require our young people to graduate with an economics course. Think about how this sets students from our state back and impacts our state's future. High school students who can't handle basic financial tasks impact the state's economy, reduces the quality of our workforce, and challenges business growth and development in our state. Various studies show that personal finance and economic education in our classrooms results in a better understanding of the U.S. and world economy, greater propensity to save for retirement, reduced amount of personal debt, increased likelihood of having emergency savings, and less likelihood of using high-cost methods of borrowing. Today, we get to hear from some people who have affected our organization and we are lucky to work with. Earlier this year, in a response to teacher and student needs, we created our first virtual program, the 2020 Student Entrepreneur Challenge. This student event was 100% online and worked to promote the spirit of entrepreneurship. Students completed a business plan for their product or service and then made a creative commercial to promote their business. This was such a fun challenge, and it's always inspiring to be around the creative and imagination of young entrepreneurs. Next up, you get to hear from one of the winners of the Student Entrepreneur Challenge, Mason Birch. He created an indoor recycling system for the challenge. Mason shows great enthusiasm in his work and has such a refreshing young mind for business. Mason, thank you for being with us here today, and congratulations on being the winner in your category for the 2020 Student Entrepreneur Challenge.
My name is Mason Birch, and I was a winner of this 2020 Student Entrepreneurship Challenge, and I am excited to be a part of this virtual back-to-school event. I am interested in entrepreneurship because I like to come up with new ideas. I got the idea for my business because I was brainstorming ideas and thought it would be easier to recycle if there were indoor recycling bins. My favorite part of the entrepreneurship challenge was filming my commercial. I hope to learn how to be smart with my money, and I hope to be able to use my entrepreneurship skills in the future when I own my own film studio.
Thank you, Mason. Mason has such a bright future and was so fun to work with. He is such a creative kid, and we appreciate him joining us here today. Next up, you get to hear from a true community leader. And like Mason, Joshua Zhu has so much to contribute to our mission. Joshua has interned at OCEE and has been such a joy to work with. He's a remarkable young man who I first met when he received the Outstanding Economics Student of the Year Award. It's presented by our organization along with the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City, Oklahoma City branch. In years past, there have only been 11 AP economics courses among the 624 high schools in our state, and his high school was not one of them. Joshua saw this as a disadvantage to himself and his classmates. Joshua analyzed and asked questions about what the hurdles were that included funding, time, lack of interest from students, and a teacher to teach the course, and many other obstacles. He started a campaign to create awareness for why this class was needed, how it could benefit students, and influence his peers to support this. What is also important to note is the climate in Oklahoma regarding education. Resources are at an all-time low, requirements of schools, teachers, and administrators are at an all-time high, and educator pay is 46th in the nation. Joshua knew this and was savvy enough to know he needed to approach this in the most perfect way. I don't know exactly how this dialogue went, but he did it. A class was created, a teacher was found that had an economics background, and by the fall, the enrollment for the class was at 50, causing the school to find an alternate room large enough to accommodate the 12th AP economics course in the state. That's not all either. Joshua is the founder of Live Life Music, a nonprofit organization that serves and nurtures the fine arts of underprivileged communities in Oklahoma through music-related initiatives. He received a perfect score in the ACT exam and graduated from Edmond Santa Fe High School this past spring and is headed to Yale University this fall to continue his education. Joshua, thank you for all you've done to improve your community, and we appreciate you joining us today.
Hello, everyone. I'm Josh. I'm an incoming freshman at Yale, and I was really involved with OCEE about a year ago when I interned at their office and really got to see up close the impact that they were making on Oklahoma's economic education. And I'm so excited to be a part of this virtual back to school event. 2 years ago, my high school did not have an AP economics class. It seemed like everyone was being pushed towards science, technology, engineering, or math, and there was no room for anything else. And for a while, I didn't notice. I thought that was normal. But by chance, I started learning a little bit of economics on my own. And soon enough, I realized that this small bit of information that I learned was actually information that everybody should know. The same way that everybody can read, they can do math, they can write, they understand basic science. I thought everybody should know basic economics. And so I pushed for it. I pushed for an AP economics class. And after a month or so of petitioning and with the help of my teachers and my peers, I made it happen. The next year, I got to take the first AP economics class at my school, and it was amazing. It was one of the most life-changing classes I've ever had. I learned a lot of things, but most of all, I realized that many of our societal and our economic issues stem from a general lack of knowledge in economics. Financial and economic literacy is too often neglected by standardized curriculum, and wherever it is taught, its importance isn't sufficiently emphasized. It's not just about understanding the economy, it's also about understanding economic policy. After all, it's knowing what your government is doing that makes democracy work. If everybody were to understand economics the same way that they understood math or that they understood basic science, we could avoid recessions. We could elect better politicians with better economic policies. And in the end, we would have a much more economically stable and healthy country. And that's sort of where I met OCEE. My teacher nominated me for OCEE's Outstanding Economic Student Award, which, by the way, is a fantastic program. It recognizes not only students who excel in economics, but they also develop an economics way of thinking. Anyways, after the program finished, I found out that their mission is to tackle the same issue that I saw, the lack of economic and financial literacy that I saw around me. The next summer, I was super involved with OCEE, and I learned a lot about economics education, and the great work that they're doing to make an impact. But sadly, there's a lot of work left. Oklahoma still doesn't require an economics course to graduate, and financial literacy is too often awkwardly put in other unrelated classes like government for me. And it's up to all of us to work together to change that. And so to the teachers, to the students and legislators, and all of you who are watching this, I'd like to finish by sharing with you some food for thought. Economics isn't just a subject, it's a gateway to a whole world of careers, perspectives, and ideas. Without it, we don't just lose knowledge, we lose an essential tool to become more responsible citizens and to understand the world around us. Thank you.
Thank you, Joshua. As always, it's so great hearing from you, and I look forward to following all that you accomplish. Next, we get to hear from Wendy Schur. Wendy is the Senior Vice President and Market Manager at Bank of America. I have had the opportunity to work with Wendy for many years now, and her support for our mission work is vital. Bank of America has invested so much into our organization and the work that we've been able to do through our partnership with Wendy and Bank of America is priceless. This year, we brought the Invest in Girls program to Oklahoma. Invest in Girls is a professional development and mentoring program for high school age girls that covers communication, economics, personal finance, and leadership development. Through Invest in Girls, we hope to spark girls' interest in financial service careers, populating the pipeline with the girls where women continue to be underrepresented. Wendy is an advocate creating a strong financial knowledge base for young girls. She served in this program and made such a huge difference to the young women who graduated in our pilot Invest in Girls program here in Oklahoma. Wendy, thank you for being with us today and sharing your experience with Invest in Girls.
Hi, I'm Wendy Scher, Market Manager at Bank of America in Oklahoma City, and I'm really pleased to be joining you today at your virtual back to school event that's focusing on financial literacy. Financial literacy is important to me personally, and it's also really important to us at Bank of America. One of the many reasons that we support the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education is because they do a tremendous job of providing teachers the resources and information that they need to be able to teach financial education to our students in Oklahoma. We feel like by equipping these students with the effective ability to manage money at a young age, it's going to be able to set them on a positive trajectory for success in the future. This year, also a new program, Invest in Girls, rolled out in Oklahoma City, and we were really proud to be part of that program and sponsor it. In addition to our sponsorship, I had the privilege of attending a couple of the sessions at the Boys and Girls Club, and I think I got as much out of it as the girls that participated did. It provided a great opportunity for us to sit around in a small group table and talk about potential careers in finance, talk about the importance of savings, talking about how to establish credit, also talking about even the basics like the difference between debits and credits. We had fantastic participants in the program and great dialogue, and it's very exciting that some of these girls potentially may now move on to careers in the finance world. So again, hope you have a fantastic time. Thanks for being part of this. And financial education is really important, and I'm glad you're here to learn more today. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Wendy's support for our organization and the Invest in Girls program has made such a difference in our community. We are so thankful to her and Bank of America. As you can see from Wendy, Mason, and Joshua, the work we have done and need to do within our state is making a difference. I'm so thankful for the support of these people as they've truly been a catalyst to us in accomplishing great things. We're also so fortunate to have a unique relationship with the University of Central Oklahoma. Our partnership with the university and the College of Business allows us resources to continue to promote economic education and financial literacy throughout Oklahoma. UCO provides our nonprofit with a home base, an office space, IT support, technology use, as well as administrative support. Many of the professors that help with our mission are here with us watching today. Since we are here for a fundraiser, it is even more important to highlight this relationship because when you make a donation, the major majority goes straight to programming, as much of our overhead is taken care of by UCO. We get the opportunity to work with fantastic economic, business, marketing, and finance professors, and their support and expertise truly helps our organization thrive. Many of these professors help us conduct teacher training and lend their support to our programs. We are so thankful to the UCO College of Business for investing in us, our mission, and Oklahoma teachers and students.
Thank you, Amy. Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Neal, and I've had the privilege of serving on the Board of Directors for the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education since 2015. And this year, I am honored to serve as the Back to School Committee Chair. It's been a privilege to help transition what is a wonderful in-person event to a virtual one. I'd like to restate our thankfulness to our event sponsors. Without your partnership and support, this event and our ability to fulfill our financial literacy and economics education mission would not be possible. For those of you that don't know, this Back to School with Financial Literacy event is intended to highlight our mission, but also raise funds for our valuable work. Last year, thanks to generous support, we were able to reach students and teachers in all 77 counties. We did that in part through events that directly serve students. They centered on entrepreneurship, personal finance, and economics, and 77% of the students who participated came from low to moderate income families. We also provided teacher training to 507 teachers, giving them the information and resources they needed to take back to their individual schools and collectively serve almost 35,000 students. Of those teachers who went through training, 285 of them were specifically reached through our new Rural Communities Initiative. How awesome is that? Despite all of the challenges that our schools are facing due to COVID-19, teachers still want and need professional development opportunities, and schools are already asking for our services and our programs for their students. That's why we need you. We need your help more than ever as we work to fulfill this important need and transition our programming for a more virtual delivery environment. As you consider your donation today, I encourage you to check out the raffle page. There are way too many raffle items for me to list, but those that kind of hit me off the top of my head are a photography package, one-on-one golf lessons, a beautiful Coach purse, several wine baskets, some health and beauty related items, and the list goes on and on. So I encourage you to check out the full list of available items, buy those raffle tickets, and then determine where you want them to go. Because not only will you be helping a good cause, you may just get a great gift too. Now, if you allow me to switch gears just a little bit, you may not know this, but OCE loves to shine a spotlight on others who also promote economics and personal finance education. And we celebrate those who help promote economic development within our state. So with that said, I'd like to highlight 4 champions who are making a big difference. The first 2 have to do with tourism, and the second 2 have to do with direct support to OCE and our valuable mission. First up, the Gathering Place. Since its creation, it has brought numerous visitors to the Tulsa area who want to explore and have adventure and fun in its beautifully designed park. It's listed as one of 6 great public spaces by the American Planning Association, and it's touted to bring roughly 1 million visitors to the Tulsa area annually. Next up is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Between their games, their merchandise sales, and all the good things they do for the local community, they are really having a wonderful impact, not only economically, but just in our communities as a whole. It's said that each home game has a direct financial economic impact of $1.5 million, and other local businesses say that it boosts their business on home game nights. So it's very clear to see how the Thunder is helping make Bricktown a prime tourist destination. Next, we want to recognize Dr. Donald Betts, who is President Emeritus for the University of Central Oklahoma. He has long championed the cause of OCE and is a huge advocate for economics and personal finance education, and for that we say thank you. And last but not least is Dr. Sulin Sasser. She's not only a prior director for OCE, she is a retired UCO professor who continues to provide her expertise and give her valuable time to our cause. She is a wonderful asset to our organization, and it is clear through her work that she has a heart for economics education. So, with that, please join me in congratulating all of our honorees and thanking them for what they do for OCE and our great state.
Thank you, Melissa, and thank you for serving as the 2020 Back to School Committee Chair. Thank you so much to your fabulous committee for making this event a success and being brave enough to tackle the challenge of turning it from an in-person event to a virtual event. I think I speak for everyone when I say that you all have done a fantastic job. I would also like to thank our sponsors, our partners. We could not do this without you. So thank you so much for your support of our mission, and thank you for your support of economic education and financial education in Oklahoma. Without you, this event simply would not be possible. So thank you so much. I also want to make sure that you know about our auction and that you don't miss your chance to snag some fabulous items before it's over. So be sure you click the link below and bid on some items, and maybe you'll actually win some. Also, I want to appeal to you to consider making a thoughtful donation to OCEE to support our mission of educating school children about financial education and economic education in Oklahoma. An investment in OCEE is an investment in our future, and I honestly can't think of a better investment than that. Last, I would like to thank you for being here today, for spending time with us on our virtual event, Hopefully next year we can see you in person. But thank you so much for your support of OCEE and of financial and economic education. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And I really want to thank everyone who shared their story about how they've been impacted by the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education. The council is really doing an exceptional job meeting the needs of Oklahoma teachers. And it really serves as a reminder that schools across our state are stretching their imagination and their energy to meet students' needs during this worldwide pandemic. You know, schools had to be closed for a time. Now we're hearing about different districts' plans for online only instruction, blended learning, and even face-to-face learning with many new restrictions that we maybe never thought we'd see. As the council moves forward with their virtual program for this fall, for the next school year, your support is needed and necessary to be a part of successfully meeting the needs of schools, parents, teachers, and students throughout the state. You know, I really think that financial literacy and economic education will help improve our schools, our Oklahoma communities, and our state as a whole. I also think it's our responsibility as adults who have experienced the world and who have learned from improving our personal finances. It's our responsibility to help set up these young students for success by giving them the information we know now and we have benefited from. That will set them up for financial success and financial smarts in the future. If you're able, please consider giving today. Thank you so much for joining us.